Hi, I'm Shania and I live in Kenya. I was around 12 years old when this event took place. I lived with my mom and things were going really well until she got a job offer far away from where we lived. It was a 6-month contract and it paid well, so she couldn't say no. The only problem, I couldn't go with her. The job required her to move around a lot and I was too young to live alone, so a friend of hers helped her find a babysitter. Let's call the babysitter Lucy. She was a young girl, just out of high school, and now attending a nearby university. My mom let her move into our house with her things, and even stayed an extra night to make sure I was okay with Lucy. They made small talk, and I remember Lucy telling my mom,
"Some of my classmates are into witchcraft. I would never involve myself in stuff like that."
My mom really liked her. She figured I'd be fine. The next day, as my mom was getting ready to leave, I handed her our Bible and said,
"Take this with you. It'll keep you safe."
She smiled and gave it back. "No, you keep it, so it can keep you safe." But just before she left, I secretly slipped it into her luggage. Looking back now, I feel like something bad was going to happen to one of us. And I think it happened to me, because I didn't keep the Bible. A couple of weeks went by. Things were okay, except for a few strange occurrences. Lucy slept in my room, and a few times I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of her praying. But it didn't really sound like praying, more like chanting. She kept repeating things like,
"Deliver me from evil and the snares of the devil."
It was during one of these nights that everything took a dark turn. She woke me up, this time on purpose, and she invited me to pray with her. I looked at the clock and it was around 11 p.m. I thought it was odd, but I said yes anyway. We knelt on the floor and she led the prayer. At first, it was normal. Then, she reached for one of my hands mid-prayer, and then the other. Before I could react, her grip started to tighten, tighter and tighter. My hands began to ache, her voice grew louder, and her tone, it became eerie. That's when I knew something was wrong, and I screamed. She stopped praying and just stared at me. And then suddenly, she lifted me up and threw me into her bed and pinned my arms down. She began slamming my head against the wooden bed frame over and over again, all while chanting her prayers louder and louder. All I could hear was my own screaming, her voice, and then the sound of our door being broken down. The neighbors had heard the commotion. They burst into the room and turned on the lights, and the moment the light filled the room, Lucy stopped. She became instantly calm, almost like nothing happened. A man pulled her off of me, while others led me out into the living room. I was in shock, traumatized. They called my mom, and she asked one of the neighbors to take me to their house for the night. As for Lucy, the neighbors were furious. They questioned her, yelling, demanding answers. That's when she screamed and ran outside. And then, she did something truly terrifying. She dropped to the ground and began to slither like a snake across the grass. And then she got up and vanished into the night. The next morning, my grandpa came to pick me up, and I went to live with my grandparents for the rest of the 6 months. Lucy never came back. She begged my mom not to press charges, and she sent a friend to collect her things from our house. To this day, the whole thing still gives me chills. But one thing's for sure, it taught both me and my mom a serious lesson.